안녕하세요.
I'm Marceline.
I'm Ariel.
And we're
Soju for two.
Okay, so this is going to be our final review of Dr. Jin.
Time Slip, or Dr. Jin, a couple different names here, guys. So the main characters, so we have Dr. Jin is played by Seung-Heon, and then Yumina / what's her other name? I forget. Park Min-young, and then Kim Jae-Joong, and then Beom-Soo are also in it.
Mm-hmm. So there is a pretty large cast of like big people.
Everyone else,
in this drama. And for us, this drama, like if we go to our regular list of characters, obviously we were excited to see this list. But I guess what our issue was is just sort of maybe the writing, the plot of this story, and not so much the issue of the characters. Because we thought all the characters came out really strong. Obviously the doctor, I felt like he was like the conflicted doctor who had a lot of, situations weekly. And then you had Park Min-young who was like trying to become a doctor in the Joseon and then was a doctor.
I just kind of got the feeling that this show didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
It didn't know if it wanted to be a medical show or a historical show or a romance. And so it kind of falls short a little bit on all of them.
Yeah, I mean, because I felt like the characters were great and you had great actors, so obviously something like went a little short with the writing.
Yeah.
And just how they did that.
So chemistry. So between the two leads, I felt like they had chemistry. And I felt like I really wanted it to be more romantic.
And it's never really realized.
Yeah.
And even with like when you have the, the love triangle with Jae-Joong and stuff like that, like you have it's so much potential for it to be such an interesting love triangle, and yet it just never really gets there. And I felt like we actually had more like love interest with Jae-Joong, even though like nothing actually happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things where I get when period pieces don't have a lot of action, right? Because it's not supposed to be an action romantic thing like that. But I expected there to be some more.
And I kind of felt at the end like I still don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Like I know what happened. I understand the plot they were saying, but it just feels like it was kind of like unneeded. Like
because it felt like you sort of knew that right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I remember very early on we were like, well, we think that's him. And going back into the future and like with the brain tumor, and so we thought that initially. So for us, it was like wasn't really a surprise, and it just seemed like less interesting.
That was the tricky part of it. Yeah. So the love triangle,
like we said, it was like it had a lot of potential, and we liked all the people in the love triangle, but it just didn't really get there.
I want Jae-Joong to get the girl. That's just what I want. Okay, mistaken identity, misunderstanding. So the identity thing was a big issue till like episode 6,
and then you had a lot of the identity issue with Park Min-young's characters. Of whether or not she was actually the girl in the future or not.
Yeah.
And that's like a long issue. Or if he was just like,
I feel like it's still never really resolved.
Yeah, I mean, that was clearly like a, mistaken identity issue or something.
Like, we know that she remembers that history, but it seems like there's two different women, so.
And it seems very interesting, too, like the Gisang, like, who's like very prophetic, like sort of what her character is and what her role in all of this was. Like, obviously she's more than just like a little, knowledgeable because she had so much information.
Yeah.
That was sort of interesting.
Definitely. Okay, so bad guy turned good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jae-Joong's character maybe was supposed to be
that. But up until the end, he was still really loyal to his family and all of that. So, I mean, he was never really a jerk, though. He always loved her.
I mean, I think he made some bad decisions. Like,
true.
Throughout this thing, like, did some bad things, but he had, like, good intentions, so.
Yeah, we can't ever say anything wrong with Jae-Joong. Okay, so piggyback ride.
Yeah, I don't really remember that.
No. Kisses.
Honestly, there's like not a lot of kissing.
Was there even a kiss?
I don't know. I don't really remember like anything.
I don't think there was a kiss.
I don't think there was. I mean, maybe in the beginning he kisses her, like Park Min-young, like she kissed.
Oh yeah, when they're still like in the present, there was a kiss. Yeah, that's right.
But I mean, it's very.
And the picture was a back hug, and I didn't think there was a back hug.
It wasn't. I guess it sort of seemed very romantic for us. Like when we first started watching, it seemed like a period piece where they had destiny and like fate and time all going with them. And yet none of it really came to fruition. So it kind of made us a little bit depressed in that.
Yeah, fashion, it was traditional fashion, so.
Yeah, and then the modern fashion. But the traditional fashion, like, nobody was really a standout. It wasn't like, the historical where they have crazy outfits.
Yeah, definitely. Music.
I mean, the song was good, like the theme songs and things like that, but, not like crazy. I think it was probably a JYJ song or at least Jae-Joong singing. I'm not sure.
Maybe, I don't know.
You guys can let us know. Okay, so giving our final review of this, I mean, I think for me, like, I would give this a 7. I liked a lot of the people in this. I mean, we've seen so many dramas with all of these characters, or all of these people, these actors, and for us, it was a little bit of the plot. It just didn't get where it was going. But, I mean, I would watch all these actors again, and I can't wait to see what they do next.
Yeah, I think, honestly, we really liked it up until, like, we kind of realized that...
We just wanted something more to happen.
Nothing really happened, and that was kind of sad. But I'll give it a 7, too. Maybe a 7.5 just for Jae-Joong. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's worth watching if you like historicals and medical, because it was kind of really fascinating that way, and you get a lot of history. But
Yeah.
I feel like this plot was not. It wasn't
Oh,
the
yeah.
romance it was what it pegged to be. So.
All right, thank you guys.
Bye.